What if I told you some of the wildest YouTuber chains cost less than a Big Mac, while others are worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills? From chains made out of snacks, to anime gods dripping in diamonds, to a $5.2 million Pokémon card hanging around someone's neck, this video will blow your mind. And while most of these chains are just for flexing, one of them caused a full-blown lawsuit, another almost got someone killed, and one was bought to honor a brother who never made it home. Yeah, this isn't just about jewelry, it's about ego, loss, lies, loyalty, and some of the wildest flexes on the internet. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see a chain so insane, it set a world record and left the entire YouTube world speechless. Let's kick things off with a chain so fake, it made the entire internet laugh out loud. It all started when Kai Cenat called out another YouTuber, Rakai, for flexing a diamond chain that looked like it belonged in a claw machine. On camera, it had that shiny bust-down look, the kind you'd expect to cost tens of thousands, and Rakai didn't hold back. He claimed he dropped $35,000 on the pendant and another $10,000 on the Cuban link. But Kai wasn't buying it, literally or figuratively. In just a few clicks, he exposed the truth. That exact same chain, it was sitting on Amazon for less than 10 bucks. You heard that right, $10. For a chain that someone tried to pass off as a luxury piece. The internet exploded with jokes, and the moment became an instant meme. But the funniest part? On camera, it really did look expensive. The lighting, the angle, the confidence, all of it sold the illusion. And that's the scary part. Some of the flashiest flexes online are just plastic pretending to be platinum. But while Rakai's $10 chain got clowned, the next creators on this list actually turned junk food into jewelry, and proudly wore it like royalty. Only the FaZe clan could take a gas station obsession and turn it into wearable ice. That's exactly what happened when a few of the FaZe boys, like Lacey and Ron, decided to immortalize their love for 7-Eleven by getting chains that looked like snacks. And we're not talking about a subtle nod or a tiny logo. These guys went all in. One chain was a half-bitten Klondike bar, fully iced out in diamonds. Another, a Slurpee, made from blue gems that shimmered like a real drink under studio lights. Then came the official 7-Eleven logo, fully blinged out on a thick silver chain. The price? Surprisingly tame, $120 each. Not exactly pocket change, but in the world of celebrity chains, it's basically clearance. What made these chains legendary wasn't their cost, it was the ridiculous concept. It was the idea that you could walk into a convenience store, buy a hot dog, and then go home and flex your love for it with an iced out Slurpee around your neck. But while these gas station chains were all fun and games, the next one had a much darker story, involving theft, heartbreak, and a superhero. FaZe Adapt was known for one thing, speed, not just in gaming, but for how he transformed himself into the Flash, editing himself racing cars, doing skits, even customizing his car in full Flash colors. So naturally, he did what any diehard fan with a love for luxury would do. He got a diamond-covered Flash chain. This wasn't just some cheap cosplay merch. The pendant was a lightning bolt logo, fully iced out, sitting on a clean Cuban link. It became his signature accessory until it got stolen. One day, the chain was gone, and while Adapt tried to move on, it just didn't feel the same. That chain meant something. It was more than just gold and diamonds, it was part of his identity. But then came one of the most wholesome moments ever caught on camera. One of his closest friends showed up with a surprise. A brand new Flash chain, the exact same design. When Adapt opened the box, he froze. He couldn't even speak. Just hugged his friend and smiled like a kid on Christmas. And while the price tag sat at $10,000, the moment, priceless. But not every chain comes with a happy ending. Because the next one didn't just shine, it sparked a full-blown lawsuit when Steiny from the Nelk Boys decided to surprise fellow creator Joshua Block with a gift. He didn't hold back. He hired a high-end jeweler, filmed the whole thing, and handed over what he claimed was a $40,000 chain made of natural diamonds. The diamonds were massive. The shine? Blinding. It looked like something straight out of a celebrity red carpet. Josh was hyped. He flexed the chain everywhere until something didn't add up. He took it to a trusted jeweler to get it appraised. And that's when the truth hit. The natural diamonds? Lab-grown. And the appraisal? Just $2,000. Josh felt scammed. He dropped a video saying he was lawyering up, suing Steiny for misleading him. The internet exploded. Accusations flew, and for a moment, It looked like the situation would end in court. But then the jeweler stepped forward and dropped a bombshell. He admitted everything. He exaggerated the chain's value to make Steiny look better, said it was a mistake, took full accountability, and gifted Josh a new chain, 100% natural diamonds, made in white gold, just like Josh preferred. Crisis averted. But the damage was done. Because in the world of YouTuber chains, once trust breaks, it's hard to repair. But that wouldn't be the last time a chain stirred up controversy. Because next, we've got one that didn't start a lawsuit, but did start a pickup mission. For fitness YouTuber Bradley Martin, chains weren't just about looking cool, they were about feeling unstoppable. And when Steve Will Do It handed him a jaw-dropping rose gold chain encrusted with diamonds, something in Bradley shifted. He looked in the mirror and straight up said, "I've never had a chain like this in my life." The energy? Different? The confidence? Maxed out. And what did he do with that newfound swagger? He hit the streets and started flirting with girls. On camera. The reactions were wild. Women were blushing, laughing, saying stuff like, "Backshots go crazy," and "I like you, Bradley." Was it the biceps? Maybe. But that $60,000 diamond chain definitely wasn't hurting. It became more than jewelry. It was a personality upgrade, a confidence boost, a cheat code for charisma. And in that moment, Bradley wasn't just flexing for the camera, he was living the fantasy every guy dreams of. But the price of confidence? Still pocket change compared to the next tier of chains, where trolling, icons, and legacies collide. Because what happens when you spend $100,000 to start beef or honor a legend? Once you cross that $60,000 line, things get serious, and in YouTube's Diamond Club, $100,000 is just the entry fee. Let's start with Jake Paul, who used his chain to troll a UFC legend. After Conor McGregor kept dodging Jake's fight callouts, Jake clapped back with a knockout-level insult. Literally, he spent $100,000 to create a pendant of a sleeping McGregor holding a NyQuil bottle, complete with diamond-covered shorts. Jake even filmed himself saying, "Good night, McGregor," while rocking it. The internet went crazy. It wasn't just a chain, it was a flex with a punchline. Then there's iShowSpeed, the biggest Ronaldo fan on earth. Speed commissioned a custom Ronaldo chain with red and green diamonds, CR7 initials, and a pendant that replicated Ronaldo's entire jersey in diamonds. His reaction? He nearly cried. Oh my god, everything he's wearing has diamonds. That chain? $100,000, worth every penny to Speed. Aiden Ross wasn't far behind. After joking about joining Soulja Boy's SOD label on stream, Soulja shocked him with a real offer and a real chain. Aiden was gifted the exact SOD iced out chain Soulja wears, and the look on his face said it all. Disbelief, excitement, and instant swagger. Price tag? Another clean $100,000. And finally, Funny Mike turned meme money into something memorable. After making millions from early investments in Dogecoin, he got a massive chain of the Doge meme dog's face, surrounded by 50 carats of custom-cut diamonds. Even better, he bought a mini version for his son so they could match. A flex that's funny, wholesome, and still costs 100 grand. But as flashy as those are, the next tier isn't about money, it's about meaning. Because spending $500,000 on a chain, that's usually reserved for something deeper. Now we're entering elite territory, where chains aren't just about status, they're about identity, memory, and loss. And when the price tag hits $500,000, you know the story behind it is just as heavy as the weight around their necks. First up, KSI, YouTube superstar, rapper, and die-hard anime fan. KSI took his love for Dragon Ball Z and turned it into one of the most insane pieces of jewelry ever made, a Beerus chain. This wasn't just some quick collab or cheap cosplay bling. This was 2,000 plus diamonds, purple sapphires, tiger's eye gemstones for the eyes, and over 550 hours of handcrafting. He wore it everywhere, flexed it even harder, and even tried using it to get free food. The cashier was stunned. You don't have to pay. That's a $500,000 chain. It wasn't just a flex, it was a lifestyle. Then came Kai Cenat, who gifted himself a chain for his birthday, and got scammed in the process. His shamrock pendant was shaped like 4 diamond-encrusted hearts, set on a chain filled with stars and the number 3, his lucky number. But fans weren't feeling it. Some clowned it, others called it inappropriate. Then it got worse. People started accusing the jeweler of being a scammer. Kai finally admitted, "He got me." A $500,000 mistake, wrapped in diamonds. But no story hit harder than DDG's. When DDG lost his older brother Dino to street violence, he was shattered. Dino wasn't just family, he was DDG's best friend, mentor, and protector. The night he passed, DDG had actually told him, "Nah, someone else will take me home." That decision haunted him. So to honor his brother, he had a custom rose gold chain made. Dino's name in bold diamonds, a broken heart, and on the back, a picture of them together, engraved with the words, "Long live Dino." It cost him $500,000, but DDG didn't care. "This is something I'll never take off," he said. And in that moment, diamonds became a way to carry someone you lost. Forever. But even $500,000 couldn't touch what came next, because the most expensive chain in YouTube history wasn't bought to remember someone. It was built to crown a global champion. When it comes to the biggest flex in YouTube history, no one even comes close to Logan Paul. Forget six-figure chains, Logan pulled off a stunt so wild, it made headlines around the world, and even broke a Guinness World Record. It all started with Pokémon. Specifically, the holy grail of Pokémon cards, the Pikachu Illustrator. Only one of its kind exists with a perfect PSA 10 grade, and Logan wanted it so badly, he traveled all the way to Dubai just to secure it. The price? An astronomical $5.2 million. But Logan didn't just store the card in a safe, he turned it into a chain. He encased the card in a diamond-studded Pokeball pendant surrounded by an iced-out bust-down frame that looked like it came from a billionaire's vault. The pendant was attached to a thick custom chain with over 150 carats of baguette diamonds. And on the front, the words, "Beast Games," a nod to his own empire, and a YouTube play button. He debuted it on the biggest stage possible, WrestleMania, while walking into the WWE ring in front of millions. The whole setup took over 60 hours to build and weighed more than 20 pounds. But here's what made it legendary. This wasn't just a chain, it was a literal world record. The most expensive Pokémon card purchase of all time, turned into wearable ice. And for Logan, that chain wasn't just about flexing money. It was about showing the world that childhood dreams, when taken seriously, could become multi-million-dollar trophies. But not everyone who rocks expensive chains walks away smiling. Because the next story nearly turned deadly. While most YouTubers flaunt their chains for likes and laughs, for one creator, it became a nightmare. Meet Jack Doherty, known for wild pranks and flashy flexes, but one day, his love for luxury made him a target. Jack was just leaving a candy store in Beverly Hills. A regular day, cameras rolling, good vibes all around, when the unthinkable happened. As he stepped outside, a group of masked men ambushed him in broad daylight. They weren't there to talk. They were there for one thing, his chains. Two $150,000 tennis chains ripped right off his neck. That's $300,000 of ice, gone in seconds. The footage showed Jack getting slammed against a wall, pinned down while others grabbed at his watch, bracelets, and anything that shined. You could hear the panic in his voice, the disbelief. Later, Jack recounted the moment. It was too perfect. I walk out, and boom, I'm pinned. One guy's yanking my chain, another's on my wrist. I couldn't even move. And here's the part that hits hardest. These weren't just any chains. Each diamond was individually certified, the highest quality possible. That robbery didn't just cost money, it could have cost a life. Jack's takeaway? He said if he ever got new chains, he'd make them look cheaper, add less attention, and never wear them publicly without security again. Because in a world where flexing equals fame, it's easy to forget that sometimes chains carry real risk. But believe it or not, Jack's $300,000 loss still isn't the top of the mountain. Because the final chains in this video, they cost $500,000, were born from passion, pain, and pride. And one of them even came with a legal twist. We've seen chains made of fake diamonds, snack foods, and even Pokémon cards. But these final 3 chains weren't just expensive, they were personal, emotional, and for one creator, devastating. Let's start with KSI, whose chain obsession led him to one of the most stunning pieces ever made, his custom Beerus chain inspired by Dragon Ball Z. KSI didn't hold back. This thing was drenched in purple sapphires, yellow and black diamonds, and tiger's eye stones for Beerus's eyes. Over 2,000 diamonds, over 550 hours of labor, all for one thing, to honor his favorite anime character in a way only a multi-millionaire YouTuber could. He flexed it proudly, wore it to shows, and even joked about using it to skip the bill at a restaurant. The price? A jaw-dropping $500,000. But for KSI, it wasn't just about the look. It was about identity, legacy, and art. Then there's Kai Cenat, who thought he was leveling up on his birthday with a one-of-a-kind chain. a four-leaf clover pendant made of heart-shaped diamonds, stars, and shamrocks, all lined across a gold chain. It was custom-built, symbolic, and of course, expensive. But shortly after flexing it online, fans started clowning the design. Some called it ugly, others, a lot worse. And then the real controversy hit. People began accusing the jeweler of scamming Kai. Turns out, Kai may have paid $500,000 for a chain that wasn't even close to being worth that. Kai eventually admitted it. He got me. And while it was supposed to be a birthday flex, it turned into a viral moment of embarrassment and a harsh lesson on trust. But none of that compares to DDG's chain, a tribute that wasn't about ego, but grief. DDG lost his older brother Dino to street violence. The pain was unbearable. Dino was more than family. He was a protector, a mentor, a best friend. On the night it happened, Dino had even offered to give DDG a ride home. DDG turned him down, and that decision still haunts him. So when it came time to honor Dino, DDG didn't just buy a chain, he created a memorial. A rose gold piece with Dino's name in massive diamonds, a broken heart on the front, and on the back, a photo of the two of them engraved with the words, "Long live Dino." It cost him $500,000, but to DDG, it was priceless. A reminder he wears every day to keep his brother close, no matter what. Chains used to be just jewelry, but after watching all this, you realize they've become something else entirely. For some YouTubers, they're a flex. For others, they're a memory, a joke, a tribute, a legacy. From $10 Amazon knockoffs to $5.2 million world records, we've seen how far creators will go to express themselves through diamonds, gold, and stories. And behind every chain, there's always more than what meets the eye. Because sometimes, a chain is a trophy. Sometimes, it's a lie. Sometimes, it's the last piece you have of someone you'll never see again. But the real question is, what would you spend to show the world who you really are? And hey, if you thought these chains were wild, wait till you see what they're hiding in the next video. From private jets to million-dollar pets, the flexing has only just begun. So don't be the one that misses it. Click here, subscribe, and stay iced out.